Hey there, my crafty friends. This is Amanda with Molly Cole Creations. You all know Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. Well, she and I got together and we are hosting a 12 days of DIYs. And today it kicks off. It's DIY number 1. We are working on some ornaments. That is the theme for day number 1. We are having an open collab and anyone can join any day. They don't have to commit to all 12 days because that is a lot. But we are going to be there to host it and set up the collaboration. For my first set of ornaments, I'm using some of these wood round cutouts. They look like, little tree cutoffs. What are they? I don't even know what they're called. But anyhow, I got them off of Amazon. They have a hole pre-drilled, so they are perfect for ornaments or tags. I'm painting them white, and I showed you earlier I am using some Chalk Couture silk screen stencils or transfers. So I have a couple of sheets. I think they're like the little minis, and I'm just going to go through and cut out the ones that I want to use. And they do need some surface wax, so I did that, and I picked out some really fun colors. I'm making these for my daughter. She and her boyfriend are having their first Christmas together with their brand new baby. I don't even know if I have mentioned it yet. I have a brand new grandbaby girl. So I cut them apart, and I saw a little trick by another creator to write the name of the transfer you're using or number them in some way so that you know which backing to put them back on, if that makes sense. So, but anyhow, moving on. I'm just going to use my little fuzzing cloth. It's just almost like a towel. It's just to kind of de-stick them, and so that when you pull the transfer up, it doesn't stretch or remove the paint that you have put down. So I'm just going to put all of these on here really securely, and then we're going to chalk paint them up. Chalk paste, I should say. Now, I tried out a few different colors, and like I said, I'm not using traditional colors. I'm going with kind of just a very fun, and they're still festive, but they're not the traditional like red and green. So I went with kind of an emerald green, I think is the color that I used in the end, and a coral color, and then I'm using also a little bit of red and a little bit of gold, you'll see. And this is just a little like detail tool that you can get into kind of some of those smaller spaces that you don't have a whole lot of room, so it just helps you get that chalk paste into those small details. And I'm using some of the cherry, I believe it is called, for this cute little Santa. But I also break out my favorite shimmer crimson and use that a little bit too. Now we are just going to wrap this up with our little Mary, which is one of my favorites, probably, on the ho ho ho. The deer I did in the shimmer gold, so it's, very glittery, very beautiful. And then I use that little detail tool. It has on one end, you can see it there to my left, just a very like pointy end, or you could use the end of a paintbrush. I just kind of added a little bit of detail with that and did some little polka dots here and there on the one that says Jolly and Peace on Earth, and on the Mary, and then on the reindeer's antlers. Just to, you know, add a little bit of extra. Sometimes we gotta be extra, right? But that's how they all turn out. And I just grab some twine, keeping it simple this way, and just stringing them up, knotting them, and I will give them to my daughter. She said they have a tree, so hopefully she'll be able to use these this year. And they can enjoy them and know that they came from Mom. And these were a lot of fun to make, super easy. As I have said before, Chalk Couture is so simple. There's no weeding, there's no designing. The only thing is the cleanup. But I think they turned out gorgeous. You'll have to let me know what y'all think. Alright, so next up, we are using some of these acrylic ornaments. Again, these came from Amazon. I got them last year before maybe. Now, I am using glitter. Y'all, it's terrifying. But I'm doing it. For my daughter, once again. So, these are little acrylic ornaments. They come with each side has like a backing. So I peeled off one side. Now I'm using Mod Podge in the spray because I realized when I did this before that the brush, when you brush on the Mod Podge, it can leave some of the brush strokes, or at least in my experience. So I'm using this spray. I had it anyway. And so I'm spraying it on. And now I cut up several sheets of this parchment paper so that I could do it all separate. So you can see after I sprinkle or dump a bunch of glitter on, then I can pour what's left back in. And now this only worked for a few of my, I didn't think this through because some of the glitter I have comes in those like divided containers and you can't take the lid off. So that was kind of annoying, but it didn't hurt my feelings to have to waste a little bit of glitter, and I did still attempt to put it back down. So this is one of the containers I'm talking about. So I'm doing this in just various colors, you know, the traditional red, green, gold, silver, and then a pink one, of course, for my new little grandbaby girl. She is quite possibly the cutest, and I just love her so much. Anyway, so we're making her a baby's first Christmas ornament, of course. And then I do a couple of other, I think I do like a blue and purple, just for fun. I mean, they're young, and well, you know, they're young and they are fun, and their baby can just sit and stare at the glitter and the lights, and they also have a cat. So I'll know at least the cat can't get to these and break them if the cat does get to it. Now, this does take several coats. Like, the first coat of glitter didn't, and that could have just been like user error on my part for not giving it enough glitter in certain areas or not enough Mod Podge in certain areas. Who knows? I don't know. But I did have to do this a couple of times with each of them. And then I let them set. And then I gave them another spray, a really good spray of this Mod Podge, because, y'all, I am not having glitter just lurking around at all the time. I can't handle it. These ornaments also came with these cute little charms. They are like clear acrylic snowflakes, just in miscellaneous sizes, with the little hooks, and it also came with the little sheer ribbon to tie, to attach. Our next step, though, is to create our designs that we're going to put on our ornament. So I'm starting out with a circle or a shape. So I grab a sheet from the left panel in shapes. I'm sizing it up to whatever size your ornament is, or acrylic ornament. Now I'm looking for like pre-designed designs. I don't have time to create them on my own. So I'm looking for Christmas designs that are going to work on a round area. So I found this one, perfect. Merry Christmas 2023. I already have my shape there, so I'm just going to shrink it down or enlarge it, I guess, depending on what size it comes in, and fit it to my shape. Now I'm going to duplicate mine. You don't have to do that. You could just reuse the same shape over and over. That would be just as simple. Then I'm looking for, I searched for something other Christmas related, merry and bright. And then at some point I realized the two designs I picked were by the same artist, or the same designer. So I thought, well, I'll bet there's more, and so I end up going into this A to Z digital designer, and I searched for Christmas. Now she has all kinds of things. Not all of them are suitable for, you know, this particular project, but she has tons and tons of cute designs that I pay for Design Access or Cricut Access, whatever they call it, and so I can use all these designs in my project. And this is a huge time saver, and she did a great job. I love the font. I think it's a really fun and funky little font, and perfect for the look that I'm going for, and they all kind of go together because she designed them all. So I add them to my canvas, and like I said, I'm just going to resize them all. I am cutting all of these in white vinyl, so I don't really need to mess with the colors a whole lot, other than the year for the baby's first Christmas. But otherwise, all I need to do is just resize, align how I want them, and then we're just going to cut and go. The only thing I would say to note is when I changed the color of the 2023 on both of these, I had to unattach and then change the color and then attach once again. Otherwise it was trying to cut the years separately, but that is no big deal, and I'm just spacing these out just to give me a little bit of room. These are going to be a pain in the rear to weed, that's for sure. But I think the white is just going to look so beautiful up against that shiny glitter. So we're just going through the steps, and we're back to our ornaments. I did get them weeded, And yes, it was a pain in the butt, but I'm going to get that other side of that protective material off, and look how shimmery and just shiny and sparkly and glittery. This little baby pink wasn't as pink, and especially doesn't show up on camera. It looks a little bit pinker like in person, but that's alright. It's still pink and it's still super cute, but I just do not like glitter, y'all. But are you kidding? How fun are these? So fun. And they are no longer shedding. I did give them that last coat of Mod Podge, and I think we're good. And they won't be in my house anyway. They'll be in my daughter's. So anyhow, I certainly don't want her to have a glitter mess. But I'm just going to grab some transfer tape and get these all applied. Easy peasy. These ornaments are just about done. I am stringing them up with that sheer satin ribbon that it came with, using a little bit of the snowflake acrylic shapes that it came with. I don't put it on all of them, but just kind of making them all just a little bit unique. And that's all we gotta do for these ones, guys. They did take a while. They were messy, but they really are so fun and pretty and shiny. And I don't have my real Christmas tree up yet, or, well, it's not even a real tree, but when I do, or when she gets hers put up, they're gonna look so beautiful against the lights. Moving on, this is our last set of ornaments for this video. I cut out with my laser cutter just some stocking shapes and some mitten shapes. And I know y'all can find these, or some of y'all, not me, can find these at your Dollar Tree, Dollar General. I don't know. I know they sell shapes like that. Mine is always very sparse, and I can just cut them. So I cut up a few different styles of stockings. Now we are using some molds that I got from Amazon. They're just really tiny little ornaments and baubles and bells, and there's an ivy with some berries on it and some snowflakes, just really cute. So I'm using, it's like called Amazing Resin, and it sets up in about 10 minutes, so you got to be pretty quick about it, but then they pop right out, and super easy. So I'm painting some in the white, and I painted most in Antique Wax by Waverly, and just kind of mixed with some water so that you could just, I didn't want it too dark. and I'm using just different stencils, stamps. You can see I kind of have laid out there. I got one stamp from Temu, actually, I want to say maybe last spring? I don't even remember. Anyhow, it has music notes on it. And I think I show it to you here at some point. But that was really fun to use, and I am using some of the shimmer crimson chalk paste because I just love the color so much, and it is almost like a glitter effect, and I've used it on a lot of different projects, so it just kind of flows with everything else that I've been doing, but I'm just painting it on with a paintbrush. And I use a green from Waverly and just all kinds of, I'm making just an assortment. I use a silver, it's from, I don't even remember. I believe I do show it to you. Yeah, Arteza. So I get a silver and a gold, and we are just doing it all for these ornaments. These are my favorite because they're just more my style, just a little bit more rustic, and I guess I wouldn't say they're totally neutral because I do love color, especially at Christmas. I have little kids, and we enjoy our tree to just be super bright and beautiful, but also I do love a little bit more of these rustic vibes that I'm kind of going for here. So I'm just showing you, just using detail brushes to paint all these little mini pieces up, and then we can get them kind of placed where we want them. I mean, at this point, I just kind of, the resin that I used has a very short time span of when you can pour it or it goes bad. So I just poured what I had and figured I'd use them where I use them. And so we will figure that out. Here's the little mini music note stamp that I was using, and this, like I said, did come from Temu. It was probably like, seriously, like under $2. That would be my guess. And it is great. I used it on the white paint. I used it on some of the Waverly wax paint as well. I actually am a dummy and stamped one upside down. Like, I can't tell what music notes look like, I guess, but anyhow, you can't really even notice. But this was probably my favorite one to make, and aside from the Chalk Couture, the easiest. The glitter ornaments were definitely the most time consuming. I wouldn't say they were difficult, but you know, just weeding and the glitter, all in all, those definitely took the most time, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this one, working with all the different shapes of the molds, and I even pulled out some greenery and some bells. You can see I used twine, I used just so many different things, and that was part of the problem. It took me too long to decide what I wanted to do because I had so many options. I am dry brushing some of them in the white. I think I dry brush all that aren't painted white already. And no two were identical. So it was just so much fun. I really could and maybe will just sit and make even more of these. I am going to put some in my own tree and some at my little craft booth. And even on the back, I do end up using my stamp, and I stamp the year. And this is going to wrap up our ornament video for tonight, and we will see you all in the next one for our 12 days of DIY, day number 2. The theme for tomorrow is tabletop decor, and that can be anything and everything that anyone can imagine and put on a table. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to check out Brenda's channel and her video, Rustic and Lace DIY, also the other amazing creators that have decided to join us. The playlist will be linked below. Thank you all so much, friends, and we'll see you very soon.